Hello and welcome to Intechlectual. This is episode 4. Everybody's shuffling, including myself, Emmanuel, and my co-host.
Louis.
And welcome. It's been a week, Louis. It's usually a week. We do this once a week. Who would have thought?
Yeah, this has been a week. Everybody do be shuffling in different forms. We shall leave that cat in the bag.
And then, well, I mean, we can like showcase it a little bit, get it out of the bag. Just let you know what the cat looks like.
I don't know where this euphemism is going. I think we should.
Like getting the cat out of the bag means showing you the cat, right?
Yeah, but why is the cat in the bag? It's animal cruelty, you know.
Schrodinger.
Schrodinger's cat's in a box, bro.
Yeah, Schrodinger needs to talk to Peter, bro.
Peter.
Is it Peter?
Oh, the whatever the American one, PETA, right? Pet. It's not called Peter. I think you do say Peter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What I'm saying is like Peter would have words with Schrodinger
Yeah, I was like, I
and
don't
how
know
he
who
treats
Peter
animals.
is.
But yeah, everybody is shuffling, and such as exchange servers, they're shuffling about. Adele is making Spotify shuffle. The Windows bugs, they're escalating, so that's kind of a shuffle in there. And the Swedish regulators want Bitcoin mining in Europe banned, so that's a bit of a shuffle too, as far as regulations are concerned.
We'll start with the exchange servers getting hacked. It
Please,
seems
take
to
it
be
away.
like a common occurrence now, right? Like some form or shape of Microsoft each week they're saying on the news about it. I mean, we got two in this week. This is the first of two. Using the proxy shell and the proxy logon exploits. They've been used to distribute malware and bypass detection. So the internal checks and stuff like that have like been unsuccessful. I don't know. I shouldn't say unsuccessful because we don't know how much it works and how much it doesn't. The exact figures, but typically bypassing the detection. And what they've been doing with that, I think the group's called like TR or something. I don't really know. What they've been doing is replying to like internal only email chains. So you get a spam email that you see it and you're like, oh, okay, this comes from an external email. This comes from XYZ at some random domain. You're like, okay, well, that's clearly not Facebook. But this one's internal. So the employees themselves are more so going to trust it and not think about their internal policies regarding phishing emails because it's come from internal, right? Like if your boss is like, hey, look, guys, we're going to the pub, and then someone replies to that like, oh yeah, click the link here to give me your card details so we can do this. It's like, sure, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an idiot, I guess, but so that's why it's kind of mad because it's like next level, like internal phishing, playing on social engineering, and that social pariah of like it's internal. So like, okay, yeah, well, this comes from my boss and his boss, so why would it not be legit, right? Which I think you've got something you want to mention on this topic of compromised emails, right?
I wasn't phished or scammed. It just so I don't know. It wasn't really in my control or out of my control. I don't know which one it is. But sometimes you get an email from Google because Google is good at this. If your email or password or either or, usually the password actually because your email's out there regardless. But if your password's been compromised by that, somebody's got access to or has guessed your password and edits on a server or on a report somewhere on the internet, Google lets you know, like, hey, by the way, your password, which is specific to you, is somewhere in the internet. So you might want to change that. So that happened to me this week, literally this week. So I kind of took a while to change it though, because, I don't want to just like think of a password off the top of my head. I want to like understand, first of all, where this threat is coming from. So I checked Pwned. Is it pwned.com?
Yeah, Pwned. PWNED. Have I been
pwned.com? Yes, have I been pwned? And that literally lets you know if, because one, I didn't believe the Google email. That's how paranoid I am and how secure I make sure I am. I was like, okay, this is fake. It says Google support.com on my Gmail. And I'm like, cap. So then I checked, have I been pwned? And even they verified like, yes, no, your this password to this email has been compromised to whatever. And I was like, okay, damn. But now, luckily for me, this email that got compromised isn't like important at all, and I don't have anything on there of importance. Probably that's why, because the password I did have on this email was like really weak, and I used it for like to make a. I think it was making a third or second YouTube account that I wanted to be separate from my main. So I was just like, let me just quickly make this to see what it is. But it just goes to show, like, that's an example of if you just make accounts with weak passwords, they are susceptible to being compromised. So having a strong password is as advised at all times, and having passwords that are named after, I don't know, like fruits is silly. Like you can't just put a fruit and then three letters afterwards
Is that what your
and then
password
hope for the
was?
best. I'm not telling you that.
Good thing you're not telling me.
But yeah, it's not anymore. So even if it was, but you can do like the whole recovery thing. So yeah, it may or may not have been. Who knows, Louis? Schrodinger's cat. What's in the box?
What's in the box? Snacks.
But I took a while to change the password because, of course, I wanted to think of something that was actually very good, or using one of the Google automatic. What would you call those? You use those sometimes.
I use a password manager, so
Awesome. Yes.
yeah, none of them make sense.
Yeah.
They're all like random patterns and stuff like that. Um, ultimate
Yeah. So
security.
if you can't think of a secure password, you can always just use the randomizer or the ones that are provided for you. But then they have to be saved. So if you're not keeping on top of those things or managing them somehow, you don't want to lose that, definitely. But Google does have a good way of sorting and keeping those things. So there's means to an ends, and I'm pretty sure like you use third party applications that store and house your passwords for you.
I only have one password
Okay.
manager, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, not gonna
So
tell
if you
anyone.
if you don't memorize or you can't memorize a very good password, there's always applications out there that can store them for you that also have like other forms of authentication and levels
Yeah,
to make sure that they're secure. So yeah,
agreed.
there's many ways to do it. So keep your password safe and stay away from exchange servers.
I mean, I feel like we should cover a few things like what you should do when if you get like a dodgy email, and like how you can probably quickly run through that. Um,
Go for it. Yeah.
so there's like two categories. There's like internal to work and like your own personal like Manny's experience, for example, we just described. For both of them, don't click a link. um,
Yeah. Never click links.
don't just be like, oh, it says it's from Facebook. Let me
What
just
does
log
this
in here.
button do?
Yeah. Oh, look, you want my credit card details? No worries. Let me get
Yeah.
that for you. Don't do that.
Run
Don't
run away from that.
run. Run indeed. You can click on the sender. You can look at the email, like not just look at the name of it. You can click on like the little button, and it'll bring down like the actual email address it come from. You can
You
like
know what?
kind of see where,
That's my number one go-to thing.
yeah,
Even the
100%.
Google one, like I said, like as soon as I saw what the headline was about compromisation, I was like, let me click this link. I mean, let me click the name, the Google name first to see what their email actually is. And that not like you said, 9 out of 10 times, it's a dead giveaway. If it's like
Mm-hmm.
Google France 10.5.5.2.5.6, it's fake, bro. That's
At
not Google.
wegotyu.com.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
no,
it's
that's
this is the real Google dot Gmail. It's like, fam, that's not the real Google. Like, they wouldn't name themselves the real or official. So it's like, yeah,
well, the real Google. Please stand up. Please stand up. Yeah, so checking the email, you can look for markers. When I say markers, like things you should look out for. So like crap spelling. Typically the grammar doesn't make sense. Typically there's words misspelled. Typically, um, where a service would operate in multiple countries, they might have different types of grammar. So for example, United Kingdom grammar versus like American grammar, like the spelling of color, like we put a U in it, they don't put a U in it. So like things like that, if they know they're targeting you in the UK, but it seems like they're covering other people in America, maybe it's not quite for you. Other things like generalism. So like if it says like dear sir rather than like dear Manny, like if it's something quite specific to you about quite a personal thing, like I don't know, like your actual account and your details, they address it to you, right? They wouldn't just be like, to whom it may concern. That sounds a bit
yeah.
fishy.
Or
Um,
sometimes they do the first part of your email. Like they know your email, like it might be your name, so they'll just be like, If an email addresses me as Manny, I know it's fake because
Yeah,
that's not my
yeah,
real name. So like I know you just got parts of an email and you don't actually know any of my details. So it's like that's a dead giveaway as well. Like how you're being referred to, or how you're being what's it called? Called? What's the word? Referred. Yeah, how you're being referred to. Like if they
yeah,
know you and they know how to refer to you, or even like what your pronouns are, etc., etc., etc. So it adds to it.
yeah. I mean, so that's that's for both types. Then at work, typically your at work should have like a policy or like a special email, like you can send that email to. So not just forward it, but like actually send the email as an attachment. And if they don't, I'd be really worried, and maybe they should get something, uh, get on that real quick.
Yeah.
And they typically investigate. Like I've worked in companies before, like you send it to like a certain spam it to go through like a whole like machine learning algorithm or sort of thing, and they'd give you an output at the end of it and be like, yeah, this was really dodgy. We appreciate your time and effort doing this, blah blah blah. You've now been entered into a prize draw. It's like, what? Is that a spam?
Yeah,
But
it's always
that
a weird
was
one.
legit itself. But then not a lot of people maybe use emails to their work. I don't know. But personally, uh, most providers have a report spam and junk button. So you can like it might even put it into your spam folder for you. You can then click the report button, or even if it's in your inbox, you can then report and say, "Hey, look, this one doesn't. This looks a bit dodgy. Can you go investigate?" Um, and
Yeah.
if the only thing with that is, so say for example, you get an email that says like, "Oh, regarding your account on your favorite shopping site, right? Regarding like your
Hmm.
password change. If you don't believe it, you could, by a means that you know how to get to it, um, you can go to the website and change your password that way. So don't go through the email. Like go to Google and search it or whatever, or if you know the exact URL,
Yeah,
go it
exactly.
that way. It's always a way to do it.
Yeah, just avoiding the links in general in emails is pretty good. But yeah, that's you've hit the nail right on the head. That's what I usually do. Like if someone tells me like, oh, change this password or whatever, I don't use the links in the emails. I go to the website that I know is trusted, that it's coming from, and then go through it that way and change things during that direction. But yeah, shuffling on to the next topic. A Adele did a madness this week. Not DM'd, she atted on Twitter Spotify themselves about the shuffle button that exists or existed on albums. So if you're not privy to what was, I think everybody probably knows that you use Spotify. When the album on the album section, the play button, the large circle, was usually defaulted to shuffle the album. So instead of playing it sequentially, it would play it in shuffle mode. That was the default one. Now apparently you were able to actually change that. I don't know how. I never saw it. For me, it was always on shuffle as well. So I never actually ever pressed the shuffle button because I hate shuffling albums. I'm with Adele. I'm with artists and just, sequential music as everyone should be. But the other way to do it was just literally press on the first song and then make sure that what's
Shuffle
that
was
little
off.
circle thing? Yeah, to make sure it was in sequence. So like repeat album, not or
No, no,
playlist, but
no, no.
not
So
repeat song.
you'd have shuffle on the left hand side, and you'd have repeat on the right. As long as your shuffle was off at the bottom and you clicked on the first song, then it would play in order.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you're right. As long as you had the shuffle off, and obviously like not on repeat single song, then it would play it in sequential order. So I've never actually used to press that button because you could see it. It literally had the play button and then a little shuffle symbol right below it. So it was just like it's insane. Like that was a way that they just had it defaulted to. And then Adele, I don't know how long it's been. Suddenly it's like, hey, hold on a second. I put in mad amounts of work and hours into sequencing this, to making a story because most albums are literally a story that is meant to be played in order, and then
Mm,
you're just defaulting to shuffle these songs so it will play the first song first and then the outro second if it wants to. That's
yeah.
crazy. So yeah, she added them, and then well, Adele's really powerful, so they changed it.
I mean, like it's something that's been like wanted for a while from the user base. Like there's like ways you can like suggest features and functionality and stuff, but like they kind of slept on it.
Useless. Yep, unless
Um,
you're Adele.
And then yeah, Adele comes along. So like, mad respect for that, and it's been a massive bugbear of mine. Like you click on the big green button, you're like, oh, let's just play, and then like you're like, I know this isn't the second song
Yeah,
of
this is not.
Nothing
Yeah,
Was the
I
Same. I'm
know
like, what are you doing?
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
are you doing? You've just ruined my
Yeah.
mood now. I don't want to listen to this anymore. Um, yeah.
It's just gone. It's just gone pound cake and the motion. It's like, wait,
What?
what?
You know what? Or it plays like the skit of was like track 5, and then it goes into like track 9. You're like, that doesn't make
Yeah,
sense. Where's this gone?
yeah.
And you start
So
questioning
that's
yourself.
yeah. So shout out to her. And the actual tweet that she sent out was we don't create albums with so much care and thought into our track listing for no reason. And our art tells a story, and our stories should be listened to as we intended. Thank you, Spotify, for listening because they changed it. And another great things about companies listening to their base, small things like that add up. People will leave. Now, people weren't leaving. That's the issue here.
Mm.
The issue is it took Adele for them to listen to it because another thing about Spotify is they are majority, or not the majority. They care most about playlists. So some people were saying, hey, it wasn't just a shuffle button. It was actually also a we know which songs you want to listen to next. So it wasn't like randomized. It was in order of which songs would be like the most popular. So it would play those first and then play like the B-sides, the simple songs and the skits at the end. So it'd get you to listen to the what it thinks are bangers for you or the bangers of the world because it already knows the numbers. And then it'd play those first. So when you listen to an album, you'd play the most popular songs first and then you'd listen to the rest afterwards. Kind of like how on you used Apple Music before, it has little stars on certain songs.
Mm.
I don't know if you've seen this. So in Apple,
Yeah.
you can literally see what the star songs are, or the hits, or the singles. So if you wanted to, you could listen to those first to see if you like an album, and then listen to the whole album like afterwards. So Spotify took it a step further, and they were just like, we'll just play you those without you knowing which ones are, and then you'd be like, oh, these songs are hard. I like this album, and then you'd go that way. Which now, in the grand scheme of things, the way the music industry works does work. It is a singles game. It is a big hits game. And the other soft kind of songs, I keep using the word soft, but you know what I mean? Like the songs that
Yeah.
aren't going to be in the charts, they get skipped over because they don't really sell. And the marketing is important and charts are important, blah, 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 blah. So it kind of like it ruined true artistry, as she's saying, because those songs are probably the ones that, you know, they mean the most to the artist. They're not the ones that with the big features, of course. So it's like this song is just me myself, but you're wanting to play the feature with Drake or the feature with Future or the feature with I don't know Abella Cabello, whatever her name is. I don't know.
Oh
Or
my
Ed
god.
Sheeran. Do you know what I mean? The Ed
Yeah,
Sheeran
yeah, yeah.
feature will play first in the shuffle. It's like no, this is an order of a certain storyline. It should be played in such. So here we are now. So yeah, maybe this will roll into better things for artists, even like things of the nature of credits. That was new as well for Spotify, and also lyrics
Yeah, I
too
was
this
about to say
week.
lyrics. Yeah, yeah.
Actually, yeah, that was this week too. So you know, like I said, these features have been requested by fans for years, but it takes an Adele to be like, "Yo, why isn't this already here?" For them to like be like, "Oh, we're sorry, ma'am. Yeah, of course, Queen. Please forgive us." Because you remember,
Yes.
if they didn't do it, and Adele was like, take my music off your platform, please."
She put on
That's a big
blast.
hit. That's a big hit.
Mm.
She sold like what, 850,000 units first week.
I I don't even know, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, something like that, or projected to. So this is literally the biggest artist in the world. So it's not just like a big artist. No, she's the biggest. So when she requests something for your application, this is who you're tailoring your whole market towards, or you know your application towards, because you want her to stay on your platform. You want her to be happy because you want people to come to your platform to listen to her music. So yeah, I might have to DM Adele some ideas.
You
What
know
was
what,
my
right?
thing that I wanted? I've forgotten now.
I wouldn't be surprised if she, like, I'm pretty sure she would reply, or in some sort of shape manner, maybe.
I mean, I hope so. I'm trying to remember what what's the thing I kept talking about like all the time that I wanted.
I'm
Oh, this is
not
gonna annoy
sure.
me now.
I just looked on her profile on Spotify. 67.7 million monthly listeners.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
Like,
that's yeah. Although the new
definitely.
album just dropped. What's Drake on? Quick check.
Uh, quick
Quick.
fact check.
Drake, Drake,
Drake,
Drake.
Drake, 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 Drake.
Monthly listeners.
56.4 million monthly
56, yeah.
listeners.
So yeah, that's 10 difference. Although she just dropped the album this week, so yeah, it goes to show like it really is the biggest.
Certified lover boy.
No certified not good enough album. Nominated for a Grammy as well. How did that get nominated for? Well, this isn't a music podcast,
Yeah,
but
I mean, there was a few ones in there that I really enjoyed, but then some of them I was like,
yeah, I
I
mean
don't know.
Donda probably will win or something. It has to. Incredible, but I think Nas had the best rap album personally. Speaking of Nas, does relate to tech. He's invested in Coinbase.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, for real. Not just Coinbase. There's a lot of like um
Did you not get it?
firms and whatnot that I don't get it.
Not Pharrell.
Louis, how's I supposed to?
Anyway, moving on.
Oh, they're shuffling on
Shuffling
again.
on like that, like
No,
that.
if we're gonna shuffle like Spotify does that mean we need to do the last point first instead of the next one?
What, switch up? You want to go to
Yeah. It's
yeah,
random, right?
go on, Nash.
So
I'll do it.
let's just the
Swedish.
quick fire round.
No, we'll go to the Swedish people.
No, we'll do it in order because we had an art and we sequentially organized it, and we want you, the listeners, to listen to it in the order that we put it in because it's important to us.
Exactly. Love that.
Exactly.
Love that.
Oh mate, that's beautiful. Go on, Louis,
So,
take it away.
moving on to Windows bugs and escalations. Microsoft getting the second highlight of the week in this podcast. There's been a local privilege escalation exploit that has been released as a 0-day. It works on all versions of Windows, including 11 and Server 2022, which is bonkers. In a very quick manner, the way it works is it allows escalation of privileges from the user, which typically has the least amount of privileges, all the way up to system privileges, which you can't get any higher than system. Once they've got access to the system privileges, like basically the whole system's theirs, and it's a really bad day for you, your company, your IT department, whoever whoever has to get involved. It's a really bad day, should we say? Microsoft said that they're aware of it, and they're making a fix. But again, it's it's one of those things that if the way typically it works in the cybersecurity world is like there's a bug bounty program and stuff like that, and people send in the information about the bugs and 0 days that they have to the companies, and the companies like look at it and they work out what it is, and then they like pay those people, and then they start to work out what the bug is, and then eventually they'll release the actual exploit after a patch has been released. But I think with this one, because like Microsoft have changed it, so instead of I think it's $10,000 per bug, it's now $1,000 per bug for a 0 day. Like as like a protest, I think the person who found it just like released it, like didn't even say to Microsoft, "Hey, look, I've got this. This is what's coming." I think just released it out into the world, which is a bit bonkers. But I also kind of understand it because, like, for them to pay that person another $9,000, how much of this could have been avoided?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like some small upfront now, which he was already paying them. It's not like they want an increase in it; they just want what they had.
Yeah. You cut costs, you pay the price, man.
Yeah, exactly. And like
even in that case, like although this isn't technically that they're not employed by them, but technically you're kind of it's like outsourcing. What would you call it?
I mean, it technically is outsourcing.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
So they're literally doing a job for you, and then you're paying them for that work, and that's helping your company. And it's a fair trade. And then you made it unfair, and they were like, "All right, bet."
Because it's like black box testing in the real world, right? Like me or you as an average Joe that doesn't work for Microsoft, right? We don't know how the internals work. We can't just go log on to a document site and be like, "Oh, okay, so this service works like X, Y, and Z." So it is what you want, and you want to reward these people because if there's incentives for them to find stuff in your system and to allow you to get the bugs before they actually become like the next piece of news in the week, you'd want to pay them the 9 extra K, then scrimp on it. And
Yeah.
have that. I mean, I'd say reputational damage, but they're so big, so people wouldn't be like, "Oh, I'm not using Microsoft anymore." But I think there is a shift. Like there's becoming more and more of a shift of people being like, "Yeah, Microsoft, now we don't really need that." Moving to like Unix-based systems, so Linux, etc. There's a lot more support. So who knows? Maybe the tides are turning, and people will start shifting from Microsoft.
I don't think personally, I haven't looked at the numbers, but there is more known now. So that's a start. And
Mm.
there's also more people that are privy to and willing to work with and use Linux-based systems. But it's still a long way to go to shift from Microsoft.
Yeah, I think like your average Joe that buys a laptop to look on an email, they won't have a freaking Scooby. But
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who listens to this podcast outside of us that actually knows what Linux is.
a handful of people that I know would that do.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've
like
had like
in real life, not at work.
yeah in real life.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Ain't
you might
dropping
have
any
more.
names because they'll be
You
like
might have,
sue
you
me.
know more
Like,
privy people than I
yeah.
do then. But yeah, ironically, like most of your favorite devices and applications and systems are built on Linux, even like Apple OS. But as like a day-to-day driver, even work-based, it's less likely. That's the thing. That's kind of maybe one day they'll become more of a personal PC or personal computer-based operating system. But I think now it's more back-end or corporate level, like using.
Mm, so for me, the only reason why I don't have a Linux as a daily driver is mainly because of games like Steam and Proton.
Exactly. That's a big part, Louis.
But hang on, like there has been mad movements, and obviously Steam dropping their new deck thing in like, or is it another couple of months? I think some of them actually start rolling
What's
out.
the new deck thing? Oh, Steam Deck. I've heard about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They're dropping. It's Linux based, so they have to
Oh,
funnel more money into their Proton service, which is making games run on Unix based systems
okay.
for them to be able to run out Steam Deck. So like
Uh,
the compatibility for that will then be the same compatibility that I'd have for Linux. So eventually Windows is
yeah.
going to go bye bye.
I don't think it will be.
I mean, for me, at least.
Okay, yeah, for you, but yeah,
But
I
I
thought
think
you
there
were
will
saying
be
it
more
like
of a shift.
as an absolute. Yeah,
Like
because gaming again, that's what I meant by when I said personal computing. Because again, you have to remember what do you do on a daily basis, and things like entertainment systems are what people do on a daily basis. And if you don't have the facilities for that, big man, then you won't get people to like use your operating system. So if they're pushing for gaming, that's a start. That's a
like
that's a very big start.
like the joke is right. Every single thing I use is accessible on Linux, right?
Hmm.
Um, there's a few different caveats between different things work because obviously Windows drivers against not Windows drivers and stuff like that. But I won't get into the details of that. I could have a whole podcast on that in itself. Um, like Steam itself works fine on Linux. It's the actual games themselves. It's the developers. Like they have an
Yeah,
added support for Linux. So like a good portion of them do, and a good portion of them work fine. But some of your like AAA titles, like you might run into a few issues.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, talking of issues and people being not happy, you wanna tell them
Shuffle
what's up?
on to the next.
Yeah, shuffle, press and
Isn't
shuffle.
it? I think the Swedish House Mafia might be doing a remix to everybody
Nah,
shuffle
copyright
because
infringement.
because the Swedish regulators, like the actual Swedish regulators, want to ban Bitcoin mining in Europe. They've had enough. They've said no, this is costing too much and it's too much energy. This is environmentally terrible. We have to shut it down now. And you want to say something?
I was gonna say I don't blame him.
Neither do I anymore. I did some research, guys. And I did a full 360, no
180.
180 turn. I
Yeah,
think last time I
360.
was
You're
talking
back where
about
you are.
I think last time I was saying, hey, how are you comparing this to other things? I think I was like, hey, why is it that Bitcoin mining is bad, but printing money isn't bad? And then I actually like looked into how much it takes to print money versus how much it takes to energy wise to
Mm,
mine a Bitcoin. And yeah, it's a big difference, Louis.
just a tad. Just a tad.
It's a lot of yeah. So again, guys, this is part of growth and being mature is going out to research and changing your mind and things when you have new data and information. This is one of those things like I didn't actually fathom like how much for how little it takes. And by that, because we and you sat down earlier and we talked about was it 900 bitcoins per day is mined, which is about $30 million, something like that.
You want me to drop some facts?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Drop 'em.
So a bit more specifics on what Manny's already detailed is cryptocurrency is obviously rising, DeFi is becoming more and more use, and obviously with that becomes more mining. And Sweden themselves, the rising cryptocurrency is threatening their ability to meet what they've obligated as part of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Yeah.
Climate Agreement. Get my bloody words out. Do they call it the PCA for short? Because that'd be pretty cool if they did. Anyway, with that, the Nordic countries saw a rise in several hundred percent. Not
Yeah.
seven as in like the number seven, but several. And it's now consuming as much electricity as about 200,000 households.
On top of what they already consume.
Yes. Which,
So, yeah, their agreement or what their targets were is 200,000 households over how many households that they have because of mining Bitcoin.
well, I don't think it's 200,000 over. I think it's just 200,000. So obviously there would be more growth anyway because more people are being born, more people are building houses,
Right.
and blah
Gotcha.
blah. But it's like, hey, look, if this was what we would equate it to, it'd be like a small town,
Yeah.
well, a medium-sized town, I guess. But so there's arguments for and against it because although this is rising and increasing and there's a lot more demand on it, I think Sweden, the Netherlands, and that portion of the world is so heavily rich in renewable energy sources like constant wind, solar, and they're surrounded by a lot of water. All of those factors allow them to be. I think they probably are one of the biggest countries with and the most forward with renewable sources.
Yeah.
So we didn't look into how much of that is already being compensated, but it must be more than enough for the regulators to be like, hey, look, we need to ban something.
Not just ban something. It's like something's changed recently that's taking these numbers to. I mean, you guys were fine. Now you're not fine. What happened? Oh, that's what happened. You're allowing Bitcoin miners are just like creating systems to just go crazy.
Some dude turned his warehouse on and Sweden was in the red.
Exactly. And in doing so, the key issue driving the Swedish regulators, they've invented a proof of work system to mint many cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ether. So there's no solution to this.
I mean, there is. They either offset more of their renewable energy or they start to clamp down and maybe.
That's what I mean. How do they clamp down?
I don't know. You can measure the output. So, like, if a town all of a sudden doubles their demand, they're like, well, what's going on here? If you guys started doing mining or something, like, what's going on?
But that's my point. Like, do you go to every household and be like, what are you doing with your PC, bro?
Well, they're already tracking how much you use. Like, they've got, like, obviously, like, I won't get into the specifics of, like, say, how the electricity grid works, but at any given point, it's constantly being monitored because they need to make sure the frequency is the same, so all your devices don't blow up at one point, or there isn't so much of a demand that the whole network crashes and then no one gets electricity. So they know from different substations and different areas how much is being used. I don't know if they probably track you exactly from your household. Like, I've got a smart meter. So, like, any given point, they know exactly how much I'm using. So maybe, and I would imagine Swedish, all those sort of countries have that or are very well into their rollout.
Yeah. So they want to ban the proof of work cryptocurrency mining. So the establishments and the companies for that trade and invest in crypto assets to be those, they want those to be prohibited somehow, and their business activities that are like environmentally unfriendly. So that they don't want to stop people because they can't like just go to each household. They want to like be like, hey, Ethereum, and whatever, you lot need to like stop doing something. to stop people from wanting to do this, to start doing more mining.
No, there's a lot of currencies out there that work on proof of work. So I don't think they want to ban the proof of work of it. I think they want to like
No, they
ban.
literally they said the regulators of the EU called for an EU-wide ban of proof of work cryptocurrency mining.
Oh,
And Sweden wants to halt the establishment of new cryptocurrency mining. So like anything new starting, they're gonna be like, nah, you can't start a new company for mining. And they want to go straight to the head. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way to go into each Jimmy's house or Timmy's or Sally's and be like, yo, we know you have a mining server in your basement. Because then it's like, nah, that my mining server is not for my basement. I mean, it's not for cryptocurrencies. It's for Minecraft. And then, do you know what I mean?
I mean, if your Minecraft server is that powerful, you
Hey man, it's a lot of what do they have? Ether, dark ether. It's not Ethereum, it's dark ether.
oh my god.
Dude, I just made a Minecraft joke. I've never played that game in my life. But yeah,
Fair play.
that's what I'm saying. Like yeah, there's that's the way that they're trying to clamp down on that. And yeah, it is nuts. Do you want to go through what was the stats about
Oh,
44 times around the world in this article that we wrote from Euronews.next?
yeah. So it apparently they said it's possible to drive a mid-size electric car 1.8 million kilometers using the same energy it takes to mine one single Bitcoin, which is
That's
bonkers.
crazy.
But then again, we don't know what it would be like. You gotta play devil's advocate, right? Like, cool, that's one Bitcoin. There's always two sides to the same story, right? And then on the what was the other fact? Which is what I just said. The 1.8 million kilometers is the equivalent of 44 laps around the globe, where 900 bitcoins are mined every day. And then they ended it was like, this is not a reasonable use of our renewable energy, which to a certain extent I'd agree with. But then on the other hand, like you would need to use that renewable energy if it's creating an economy for you to be able to plow back into, say, your people, your infrastructure, your whole government to keep the country running, right?
Yeah.
So obviously it's a balancing act, and I'm not a politician. I don't work in government. Don't want to.
Wait, just a quick go back. How much is one Bitcoin again right now?
Well, how much it costs?
Yeah.
56k in USD, I believe. So, shuffling on from Swedish Mafia.
The last shuffle. Every day.
Every day we're shuffling.
Every minute. Every Bitcoin we're shuffling.
Oh no, that's too far. It's too far, man.
How much does it cost to shuffle one Bitcoin is the real question I want to ask. That's what the people really want to know.
We'll have to...
If actually, let's talk about energy consumption, right? If I shuffle and create static, will I be able to mine Bitcoins? How much shuffling do I have to do to mine one Bitcoin if I'm wearing like socks on my carpet?
I'm gonna ignore what you just said.
Louis, this is scientific research.
No, I have to ignore what you just said.
Get to the bottom of this. This will also sort out the obesity thing. Wait, what am I talking about?
If you keep moving, you can mine Bitcoin. That is stupid.
People would be shuffling like crazy.
No, they won't. Half of the population of the world right now don't even know how to dial a phone properly. Like, what do you mean they would know how to mine a Bitcoin?
They don't know how to dance to mine a Bitcoin.
Bruh.
All you had to do was dance, Louis. All you had to do was dance
Nah,
to mine a Bitcoin. You dance, Louis.
No, I wouldn't.
To get even a fraction of a Bitcoin. You know, one Bitcoin costs like 42 grand GBP and like 60 USD.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm very privy to how much a Bitcoin costs.
You would have to dance like every minute of every day for at least a year to get like $10.
Do you know how much weight you'd lose?
You would be dead.
No, you'd be eating in between. It'd be calm.
Well, you wouldn't be making money, so you'd make even less. You'd make like $1 a year. What are you gonna do with $1? Well, you can put that into, I don't know, become a fitness coach. You can charge people $40
per year from?
Huh?
Where'd you get what you'd be making $1 per year from?
Like how much energy you'd put in there, you would.
That's true.
You wouldn't be able to funnel that into
body
the.
Doesn't. Yeah, that's true.
So you would. Yeah,
hey man, I'm an ideas man, and you're the shutdown man. Okay, so I keep firing ideas at you, and then you figure out if it's good or not.
I shut down the crap ideas. Yeah,
Speaking of shutting down or shooting down, quick
quick fire.
fire.
Bap, 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 bap.
Hey, let's go. This is a new segment, guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen.
We include
That we're
all
gonna
here.
just. This is. I want to just like preface this. We have not read any of these properly. I just got some of the best headlines of the week, and we're just
Wow,
gonna go through them,
wow.
and then it's just first thoughts.
He put all of his investigation skills and time into the earlier articles. So these ones are just like bop 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 bop. See what
Because we
happens.
can't go through all of these, man. It's been like I don't know how long this would be. Probably 50 minutes as well. Like
Right.
I don't want to talk for more than an hour. You don't want to talk for more than an hour.
I mean, maybe in later episodes we will, but not now. Man's got to sleep. Right. How are we doing this? Shall I say one? You say your response, and then I say my response, and then we get to the
Yes.
next one. All right.
Go for it. You can go first.
Protesters hit Amazon buildings on Black Friday.
Now, I did see that there was a lot of protests going on. So I don't know how successful they were because Black Friday, other this year was very quiet. Is it just me? Because they did it over like a whole month.
And they always do that. Like they lead up to it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, cool. We've got loads of devices."
No, but I had like Amazon and Google telling me it's Black Friday like 3 weeks before. And I was like, fam, what?
Yeah, it's just a gimmick. I don't know.
I guess.
Isn't it over
What do you
money
think
or pay or something like that? Whichever it is, keep protesting.
I don't know. Yeah, keep protesting like them lot disgusting behaviors. So
Yeah, don't like Amazon. All right, next one.
France asks search engines and app stores to remove Wish.
Too bloody right. I don't like what they did because they Wish were like favoriting like their own stuff. If I remember correctly, or, like it was they weren't complying with the actual law where it should like give every provider that you can see on there fair weighting. It was like only the ones that were like paying them or like they were people.
Ah, gotcha. 'Cause,
if
yeah,
you
I
know
had
what I
no
mean.
idea.
Like what Google did recently, and they got in trouble for.
Yeah.
So damn right, get rid of them. And as a country,
Yeah.
if you're like ban this, even better.
Yeah, well, there you go. I had no idea about this. So, Louise, your plug. What's
I mean,
the
if
next
I'm
one?
right.
Quick fire. No, move on.
Yeah, Spotify tests TikTok like vertical video feature. That's some alliteration.
Wait, there's going to be TikTok vids on Spotify?
Nah, that's
It's like
dead.
Spot,
Nah,
Tickify,
we're not out of vets, mate.
TikTokify,
Nah,
Spotic.
stop it.
But I mean, like, music is the number one thing, right?
they already
much.
do this technically.
So they already, what do you mean?
Like you go on, there's certain videos on there. Artists can put like a 6-second video that plays on the background as you're listening to the song.
That's just like a GIF though.
Yeah, but that's
They mean, like-
TikTok. How long's a TikTok? Isn't that like 6 seconds?
No, but yes, you're right. I know what you're saying. You are right.
Right.
But that's literally, those are like background images that move.
yeah, that's what
Do you know
TikTok
what I mean?
is.
It's not though. They're like front facing. They're meant to be, you interact with the video, not the audio. Whereas for not Instagram, sorry, for Spotify, the music is the number one thing. And then the background is just a background. It's just something cool to look. It's not, you're not watching that as content. You're listening to the content, and that's just like an extra. Whereas the Spotify videos, like that is the content itself. So they want to add an extra feature that's literally the content, and then the music is the background, kind of like how Spotify. I mean, it's kind
Yo,
of like
it's
how
been some
TikTok
quick fire,
works.
bro. We're still going. Wee.
Yeah, allow it. I
Allow
think
it.
it's. I mean, if you want to make money, do it. It's like simple, and it's the right thing to do from a business point of view. But from a people's point of view, disgusting.
I think it's crap. I think they've got some other features they need to bring in first, rather than this crappy video stuff. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we can get
Yeah.
moving quick fire. US. So is it you? Or is it me? No, it's me. US blacklists Chinese quantum computing firms over security fears.
No doubt. Hashtag. You know the hashtag doubt meme. That is that all
Wait.
over. Like, what do you mean? Does it come
Quantum
from Hawaii
computing
or
for
something?
China.
Not Hawaii. Huawei. How do you say their company name? Huawei.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
If it's
Huawei.
got anything to do with them, nah, bun that off. Supercomputer.
Yeah,
Nah.
I've not read into this, but yeah, I get it. I understand.
Like, hashtag doubt. Anyway,
Next one, Louis.
moving on. Pets can ring owners with dog phone and. That's
Favorite
jokes.
dog phones. Yeah. So there's a little toy that you can get your dog, and they can like squeeze it or bite it, and it will ring you.
What if your pet does that like every 5 minutes and you think something's up, and then every 5 minutes
They
like,
do like attention, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then what? You answer the
So
phone.
it's
You won't
like-
get anything done.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if you have like a camera in your room, and then the dog as well, so that you can always like look like what's going on. So if it rings and it's just like chilling, wagging its tail, you're like nothing's going on. But if it like rings you and then you like see like the pillows are like in a mess, and you're like, oh, I need to go sort this out, guys. Sorry.
What you're gonna you can get on a train from like say London all the way home and just be like, all right, I need to go home. The dog's
Right.
ruined my house.
Because I
um,
mean, it could be now a fire hazard. Do you know what I mean?
well, I don't know. You'd make sure that's accounted for before you even left. Like you wouldn't put the dog in a situation, right? That's
No, but
irresponsible owning.
now your dog has done something to change all of that, and it's also responsible enough to be like, I've done something here, mate. Come over here, have a look at this.
Have a look at this. Anyway,
Dave, look at the Amazon camera, please. I think we have a situation here.
why are you plugging Amazon for? Screw Amazon. Anyway,
Oh,
moving
who
on.
does ring cameras? It's
Yeah,
Amazon.
yeah, it's Amazon. They brought them. Anyway,
Exactly. What do you want me to do? It's a conglomerate, man. They monopolied.
yo, there's like 500 companies out there that do like security cameras.
All right, Louis, quick fire.
Anyway, moving on. GitHub had an outage for about
Out.
2 hours, I think it was, a few days ago,
Damn.
which sucks a bit. But I
GG's.
mean, they recovered it pretty quick. It's not Facebook being down for however long it was.
Right, but they have repositories and servers, right? Not servers, but like, so it probably means more. Although now it's an argument of communication versus services, because Facebook is also like WhatsApp and Messenger, so that's service. That's not service, so it's communication with like people, friends, family, work. Whereas like GitHub is more depositories that hold things that also make things work. So it kind of like can also affect services and communication.
Yeah, because people's like company and like how they push their product, their source code and whatnot, it's all out there. But
Yeah.
like GitHub said immediately, like as soon as it comes out, as far as I'm aware, like, hey, look, we're having issues. You're going to be affected. Whereas Facebook, I think it was like
Just happened.
3 hours and everyone's like, what's going on? And I was
What's
like,
going on?
oh
And
yeah,
then they
by the
came back
way,
later
it doesn't
on.
work.
That was like almost at the end of the day as well. It was just like, oh yeah, but yeah, we're down. It's like, fam, we know.
Anyway, moving on.
All right. Is it you or is it me?
You.
Apple sues company known for hacking iPhones on behalf of governments.
Lol.
Now I'm gonna click on this because
So if I haven't read this, but
NSO
how
Group,
I
NSO.
yeah,
It's like a Israeli company. I mean, Israeli it's an Israeli company, but I don't know if it's defense or like
it's along those lines. I don't know what the
yeah.
technical term is. They have found exploits into the iPhones that obviously they won't share with other companies and whatnot because it's their selling point. Here, look, we can get into devices, and the fact Apple is like suing them is kind of funny because
How much, Louis?
I don't know. You tell me.
75K. It's peanuts.
They're suing them for 75,000.
Yes. Yes.
Why would they even do that?
Eh.
One phone call to their lawyer probably
It's the
cost
precedence, I guess.
75k.
It's to show like, oh no, guys, we slapped him on the wrist. Come on.
That's just stupid. Apple, Apple's going downhill, man.
All right, Louis getting outraged. We're gonna move on.
Talking about Apple and then talking about
turning
Amazon
green.
now. Apple, all the A's, they're going in the bin. Anyway, what's your thoughts? You tell me yours, and then we'll move on.
But what?
About this Apple suing the company.
I ain't talking about that.
I don't have an iPhone, so I guess it's fine.
There's something I want to just stay away from in it.
Yeah, screw them anyway. Moving on. Italy finds enough one. Italy finds Apple and Amazon over
These
Beats
people
headphones.
are appalling.
What happened? I have to read this one
Appalling.
now.
Appalling.
What's the joke? I'm missing it.
Appalling.
The fine related to Beats headphones are brand bought by Apple for $3 billion in 2014.
Appalling.
Both Apple and Amazon said they plan to appeal the fines. The Italian competition
Louis.
authority said the actions of the two companies also violated European rules.
Appalling.
Nah, moving on.
Anyway, they find Beats or Beats find Apple. I don't know. Like Italy finds Apple,
No, Apple
and
bought
Amazon
Beats.
over Beats. But why are they finding both if it's already owned by one?
I think it's because of the way Amazon sold it.
Okay.
I think because like Apple, I think like Amazon got rid of it on their store. I don't know. Don't care.
Outing competition regulations. What does that mean?
It's probably the way they sold it. They probably done the same thing as Google and what
Okay, yeah,
Wish
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So screw him. Sue
And
him
then
for as many
because of-
money as you
yeah,
can.
yeah.
And get it back. Do it.
Oh, because Amazon, so they probably so they probably pushed like Beats and upper devices like on top of the search engine or whatever.
Yeah, whatever crap. To be honest.
All right,
All right,
go on,
yours.
next one. As I mean, Facebook researchers wanted to block racist hate speech, but executives reportedly dismissed their solution to avoid backlash from conservative partners. I'm sorry.
What? let me read that again. Facebook researchers wanted to block racist hate speech, but executives reportedly dismissed their solution to avoid backlash from conservative partners. I don't think we have to talk about this. I think
Yeah, we don't.
just
That says it himself, man.
yeah, like
I'm moving on. Like,
uh,
if you wanted to know more about why you should not trust Facebook, there you go.
you want to get involved in the metaverse and all this crap?
Yeah.
Nah, nah, nah,
What?
nah, nah,
What?
nah.
Who's the metaverse? Who's the metaverse? Who's the metaverse built for, Louis? That's the real question I'm asking now.
People that enjoy
Hey,
gimmicks.
listen. Mr. Gox, cryptocurrency trading hamster, dies. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
If you didn't know, there was a hamster called Mr. Gox
Little
that
legend.
chose different sides of like something, and then people traded depending on which way he went in his cage.
Yeah, so it'd be like yes or no. Like he'd move to the different sides of the
Like the
cage.
octopus for football.
Oh yeah.
Remember, like, he used to pick Germany to win the World Cup, and then they won the World Cup, and they were like, this octopus is genius. It's like a
Lol.
50-50 chance, bro.
Yeah, I
It's a
was gonna say
50-50
like
chance.
the probability of it happening was just gonna happen anyway. It's not like anyway. Moving on. The last one. Huge fines and a ban on default passwords in new UK law. All right.
Talking about passwords, like we started off with,
I don't know about this one. What's this one?
even the words. Yeah.
The government has
You re-
introduced new legislation to protect smart devices and people's homes from being hacked.
It's BBC News. Yep.
Yeah, because I think a lot of these like IoT, so Internet of Things and smart devices, they all come with like crappy. Well, typically they come with like crappy like default admin passwords, like password one is like, are you really
Okay.
for real? Like, are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. There's too many devices in your house, kind of thing. So, like, how many devices do you want that have default passwords that can be easily guessed? So now they're trying to crack down on people, I guess, putting or companies having non-default passwords, either like them making their own ones up or you getting the device and you have to make your password up for yourself.
Yeah, so I think this is a good
Yeah,
move. If
that's a
it's
good move. Yeah, shout
if
out to
it's
that.
like, hey, look, for every device you sell with a crap password, we're going to sue you this much. Imagine
Yeah,
companies will fix that real fast.
and yeah, that is the quick fire round.
We need the
Should
sound
have like,
effect.
but yeah, we should
Just
like
like
just
press a button.
gunshots. Bullet, bullet, bullet.
Oh my god. Welcome to the Ghetto Cast with Manny and Louis.
Hey man, ghetto tech,
I
Teto, get tech, get tech,
get teched.
It's the get tech fast.
Tech 9.
Hey man, I like Tech Nine,
Tech
the
9.
musician, not the gun.
Wow. Showing your true colors now, Manny.
What?
Yeah, that was
Louis,
the
what
quick
should
fire
people
round.
read, man? What should people read? Recommended reading for the week.
There is a blog by a lady called Julie. I'm gonna butcher this, and I'm really sorry, but Giuliano Lima. Is that how you say it? Giuliano Lima.
I guess. Yes, is mine.
I mean, you know Spanish more than I do.
She's Spanish. That's not Spanish, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Spanish. I don't know. She's written a blog on her personal GitHub, which we will try to leave a link in the description. If you Google 5 books that changed my career as a software engineer, it is a .github.io link, and it is by Giuliano GTZ, and the title is what I just said. And on there, I mean, I don't know if it's a she. Maybe I've ruined it.
They can just say they.
They suggest 5 books that changed their career. So in a very quick rundown, The Passionate Programmer Creating a Remarkable Career in Software Development.
The Pragmatic Programmer, Your Journey to Mastery, 20th Anniversary Edition.
Then The Unwritten Laws of Engineering, the second edition.
And Remote, Office Not Required.
And lastly, Explain the Cloud Like I'm 10, which I think is jokes for a title.
I'm buying that book.
I mean,
because I've tried to explain the cloud to some people and I just couldn't. So shout out to Todd Hoff and Juliana.
you could just give them the book, like, read this.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna read it so then I can explain to people. That way. Mate, listen, feed the fish. Wait. Feed it,
Teach a
what's it
man
called?
how to fish. So if you give a man a fish, he can eat for one day. You teach a man how to fish,
Exactly.
he can eat for life.
Exactly. I'm giving him fish so he can always come back to me.
Just give
I
him
make the
YouTube.
money. Nah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Don't know. I mean, I just say the cloud is someone else's computer under someone else's desk that you pay for.
That's genius. It's brilliant. I love it.
Like, it literally is what the cloud is. You just pay for
Yeah,
someone
that is,
else's own
yeah.
data center somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah.
You don't
It's
have
just
to
somewhere
worry if the
else.
cleaner comes along and unplugs it.
It's just somewhere else. What's cloud? It's just a PC somewhere else.
Yeah, it's not
You
actually
remote
in the
into it.
cloud
Yeah. No,
until
it's an
someone puts.
underwater actually.
Yeah, some of them are underwater. Some
Should
data
be called
centers.
ocean computing, really, if you think about it.
I would not be surprised if that becomes a thing because if you put it far down
Wait,
enough, the heat
I
would
am
dissipate.
trademarking that right now as
You
we speak.
can't. There's companies out there that already do
It's too late.
underwater computing. Yeah,
Too
Microsoft
late.
they've got a couple of like
It's too late.
things that they've created and put computers under there for like 7 years and they worked
I
absolutely
now have a
fine.
T mark next to ocean computing, and it's owned by me, Emmanuel McQuay. At me, Google or whoever,
Sure.
if you want.
Yeah, they're coming at you with their lawyers like you've stolen our trademark. There was already a patent pending and you've just got
Yeah.
infringed on it.
Didn't somebody lose their patent for something for like a day? Was it Facebook? Or
I
was it a
don't know.
website? Who was that? If
Well,
somebody knows, DM me, and then I'll talk about it next week.
all right,
But that is episode 4.
everybody shuffling.
Everybody is shuffling, and
Yes,
you no longer have to shuffle your albums on Spotify. So go listen to Manella's Weeklies that's released every Monday.
do it.
Link in the bios of somewhere on my
Do it.
Instagrams. And shout out to Louis as well. Follow his Instagram too, which is _life of Louis.
Lol. Don't know why you do that.
And mine is Manny Sims.
Did you get
Follow
it?
us
Lol.
very soon.
Life of Louis. Lol.
I'm going to just ignore you.
Um,
Cool. So yeah, thank you for listening. I'm Emmanuel, and this is,
Louis.
and we are
Lectual.
and this has been episode.
4.
Look at the cohesiveness, Louis.
Everybody shuffling.
Everybody's shuffling. Take care.
Take care. Peace out.